Preseason welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Glad you're with us here from FedEx Field. Jets and Skins ready to go. Redskins won the toss, and they have chosen to receive. Jay Gruden, his 5th season as head coach. There is Byron Marshall, his 2nd year out of Oregon, the return man for Washington. There's some talk this week about how much we would see of Alex Smith. Helmets on, looks ready to go, even with some of the starting offensive linemen not in action tonight. As Taylor Bertolet will get the night started, and he sends it deep for a touchback. So Alex Smith in year number 14, coming off the great statistical season with Kansas City, led the NFL in passer rating, but with the young gun Patrick Mahomes there, he was going to end up somewhere else. The somewhere else became Washington, and with it came a new 4-year, $94 million contract extension here. Seemingly getting better with age. He has been through it all. So many different offensive coordinators, a proven leader, and physically impressive at age 34. Rob Kelly, the lone back for the Skins. Play action, and with pressure right away, able to get it to Paul Richardson, and a slithery Paul Richardson goes ahead for 8. As a flag is down, we will check on that.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 48, defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. Automatic, first down.
Jordan Jenkins, the outside backer for Washington.
Yeah, and welcome to Washington. Nothing like running a naked bootleg, getting the helmet right there. But, you know, Alex, we talked to him earlier in the week. He said he's invigorated by this challenge. He doesn't have time to think about the trade and what all transpired. He's focused on helping leading this team.
Saw Jordan Jenkins coming down with his full body weight on Alex Smith. That is a point of emphasis that they are looking to clean up here. Not the defenders trying to go off to the side when you bring the quarterback down. Here is Kelly as he goes ahead for just a yard. Kelly in his 3rd year out of Tulane. Jamal Adams with the tackle. Great looking young safety for the Jets.
You know, to your point about Alex Smith, he's a veteran quarterback who's going to bring a presence here. I think it's important because Kirk Cousins is not here. The reason Smith is here is because of his playmaking ability and the multitude of ways that they can use him. That's what Washington loves about Alex Smith.
Second and 9, play action for Smith. Plenty of time as he goes underneath to Vernon Davis. 13-year veteran reunited with Alex Smith from back in their 49ers days. 16-yard reception.
Yeah, and this is what Alex Smith does, right? You're going to see the play action in there. Vernon's going to fake it inside, run the flat. He wants to look deep to short, but he's smart. He doesn't turn the ball over very often because he takes what the defense gives him.
And talk about Vernon Davis, the wily old veteran, still getting it done with.
They combined for 30 touchdowns when they were former teammates.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. We're good.
Double.
First down run, Rob Kelly. As he backs his way ahead for only 2 yards that time. Interesting dynamic with Jay Gruden and Alex Smith. We talked to Jay yesterday about how he allows you to potentially expand that playbook a bit with.
Yeah, he really tries to find ways to get his playmakers in different alignments and create mismatches. It's not so much about the system, it's about his players. And now he's got a new toy that can create a lot of mismatches in itself because he can run it from the pocket, but then he can create with all the circus-type offense that we've seen him do so well in his time in Kansas City.
And Smith has had so much success with the zone reads, the RPOs, the quick game. He can do it all. 2nd and 8. Trying to find Kelly coming out of the backfield. He was covered by Avery Williamson, who left the Titans and signed in free agency with the Jets.
You know, one of the things when we talked to Jay Gruden, he talked about Alex Smith. He said, I see zero limitations on Alex. And so it challenges him. Alex is challenging Jay Gruden to find different ways to add him into this offense. So we know they're going to play action. They want to run the ball in this zone scheme behind Bill Callahan. But adding these wrinkles for these big playmaking plays is what he wants to do.
3rd down and 8 as Marshall checks in as the 3rd down back. Smith over the middle and complete for a 1st down as he goes to Josh Doxson. 11-yard reception on 3rd and 8.
And Joe, that's what you get from a veteran quarterback, a guy who's just in the pocket. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected. He sidesteps a rusher and throws a strike in there. And if you're the New York Jets, at some point you're going to have to get some pass rush. It's worried them all year long from last year. Now it's coming into this year. You have to get pressure on the quarterback.
Good to see Josh Doxson convert on a 3rd down, the former 1st-round pick. Give him some confidence.
Yeah, they're looking for him to really step up this year. Underneath to Kelly. And Kelly spins his way to the 10-yard line. And Alex Smith marching Washington right down the field. Another 12 yards with the catch from Kelly. Of course, Darius Geis tore his ACL last week. He was the prized 2nd-round pick that was showing so much promise. Don't expect to see Chris Thompson among the running backs for Washington, so may get a hefty dose of Rob Kelly early on in this game. 1st and goal with the ball cresting the 10-yard line. Kelly as he muscles his way close to the 5.
You're going to see the zone read. This is the first one. If he's reading that defensive end, if he comes down the line, he's going to keep it. If he goes up the field like he does here, then it's a give. This is the area of the field they want to use this part of the game, the zone read. The defenses really don't know how to fit it, and in the red zone, they feel like they can get numbers on offense.
9th play of this opening drive. Well managed by Smith. Kelly probing that right side as he was met by Tremaine Johnson, who is the Jets' big free agent signing. Came in with a $72.5 million deal.
You know, this is an important area of the field. The Redskins were awful last year in the red zone. Reason being, they could not run the football in, and Kirk Cousins was afraid to fit the football in the tight windows. They believe Alex Smith will help them with that. We saw it with the zone read now. The quarterback will be another runner. It'll help this Redskins offense in the red zone.
They talk about opportunity throws, and that's what Alex Smith does. He's going to give his weapons opportunities.
Empty set here as Kelly is in the slot to the near side on 3rd and goal for Alex Smith and Washington. Smith to the end zone, incomplete as he was looking for Trey Quinn, covered by Buster Screen.
You can see this matchup man-to-man. Quinn just delays that route a little bit. He's got him on outside leverage. Quinn, the rookie, he just needs to stick that left foot in the ground and take it. Understanding coverage, if they're outside leverage, Alex sees it and he's going to throw you open. He just needs to not be so patient at the top of the route and just take it.
So Dustin Hopkins trots on for the 22-yard field goal attempt. And he puts it through. Washington comes down with the veteran Alex Smith. Guess who's next? The golden boy from USC, Sam Darnold, in action when we come back.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC.
And the Jets fans love that. When the streak of 9 straight defensive players taken in the first round by the Jets ended, because landing in their lap was Sam Darnold. Mayfield, of course, went 1. The Giants went with Saquon Barkley, and then there he was. Capistrano Beach, California. Todd Bowles has enjoyed having him around. He's so mature, so coachable. It's been a dynamic quarterback room with Bridgewater, McCown, and now the rookie, Sam Darnold. Dustin Hopkins, who had the field goal moments ago, kicking away. And Andre Roberts set to return. As Roberts was met hard at about the 19-yard line. It was a good effort by Martrell Spate. So Sam Darnold had the breakout year in 2016, that all-time classic Rose Bowl when he was the MVP, went 9-1 that year. Then last year, remember, he was the Heisman favorite all summer long. Had a good season, but a season where there was the concern with the turnovers. He led FBS football with 22. Still, everybody wanted a piece of him, and the Jets got him. Number 3 overall in that draft down in Dallas. And in terms of those turnovers, Whit, he's been handling himself fairly well in camp. As he gets this complete to Eric Tomlinson, 6'6", 260-pound tight end.
Yeah, and what we saw last week in Sam Darnold preseason 1 is exactly what you want to see from a young rookie. Nothing really sexy about it, just reading it out, trusting his instincts, and going where the coverage dictated. Jeremy Bates told us, the offensive coordinator, that was the best thing about it, was just taking what the defense gave him.
So last week's numbers against Atlanta created such a buzz. Dealing with pressure. Look at the feet of Darnold and able to throw it away. By the way, when it comes to that conversation about turnovers and having 22 last year at USC, the last player to have that many turnovers and go on to be a first-round quarterback pick was Matt Ryan. That worked out pretty well with.
Yeah, that's good company to join. And you see it right there, just his playmaking ability. I mean, it's a bootleg there, but he processes information. And to me, when I studied these quarterbacks, he was the guy that I felt like was most ready to play right away in the NFL, and that was a big reason. Processing information.
Another empty set here, allowing the quarterback to survey the field. Empty 2 times so far in the first series.
And now Powell motions back in. Let's see if Ryan Kerrigan comes after Darnold again. Pressure, and Darnold goes down. That was Deron Payne, the first rounder himself out of Alabama, who could be a big impact player for Washington.
Love Deron Payne, number 95. Quick, athletic, the ability to make the inside move. It's just like a crossover dribble in basketball, Joe. The inside move from a defensive tackle, he's going to be a really good one.
So Lachlan Edwards, the Australian-born punter, will put his heels on the 1, and Danny Johnson set to give Washington good field position. As Edwards gets all of this, driving Johnson inside the 30. And then ripped down from behind, and that's going to bring out the flag. Should be a horse collar. That was Lee on special teams coverage.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 58, kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. Timeout.
Washington offense back out there when we return. Here is Colt McCoy, who's going to take over the quarterbacking duties for Alex Smith for Washington. Comes from Tuscola, Texas, where his father Brad was his high school football coach. Played some safety, punted, and of course went on to be an all-time great quarterback for Mac Brown for the Texas Longhorns. Little Red River backfield as Samaje Perine, the former Oklahoma star, is the running back for McCoy. And here is Perine, and there he goes! Samaje Perine with a chunk play to get his night going. 30-yard run from Perine.
Yeah, it's just a really good block by the tight end, J.P. Holtz there. That's one of the things they do, this zone scheme. It's not always just not including the tight ends in the backfield. They'll do it in a lot of different ways, Bill Callahan will, and it's creating ISOs in a big gap. Good patience by Perine, let it open up.
This is why they shouldn't be concerned that Darius Geis got hurt. P. Ryan and Kelly can get it done.
Kelly back in as P. Ryan limped off. And he's looking for something as he makes his way to the 20-yard line. Of course, Darius Geis is supposed to be a part of this backfield. The unfortunate news last week, I mean, you look at the stats of what he did at LSU, 6.5 yards per, second highest, second only to the great Bo Jackson. But last week, Darius Geis tore his ACL in that preseason opener against the Patriots, and he is now out for the year. A lot of questions as to how John Gruden would react to that, go out there and try to shop around for a veteran guy. But he says, you know what, we're comfortable and contented with what we have, because what we have is a healthy version of what they had last year. And Jay Gruden was quick to point out that this guy he likes a lot. That is Rob Kelly, who back in 2016 averaged 2.2 yards after contact, and that was 4th in the NFL. He's a tough guy who can be durable.
Yeah, and I think the combination with these backs, I mean, Chris Thompson's that third down back, really tough out of the backfield and passing game, and especially in this part of the field. He gets the linebacker in coverage a lot.
3rd and 3. Byron Marshall flanking Colt McCoy. McCoy trying to tuck and run and is taken down as it was Jordan Jenkins getting to McCoy.
Joe, this is exactly what the Jets need. They've been screaming for pass rush here. It used to be the New York Sack Exchange in New York. They've been waiting on pressure. A young man like Jordan Jenkins to get to the quarterback. The outside linebackers have to provide pressure for this New York defense.
Yeah, that has been the concern. There's been some talk and buzz back in New York of, hey, Khalil Mack's got a contract issue with Oakland. Why don't we pick up the phone? Hopkins on for his second attempt already, this from 35. Off the upright and through. Take it any way you can, Dustin. 35-yarder is up and in. 6-0 Washington. On his opening drive tonight, had 1 completion for 2 yards. Anxious to get back out there. You know, it's interesting they describe him as this California kid. He's cool and relaxed. He is as fiery a competitor once he crosses that white line as anybody you'll see. We've been around him a lot in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the thing that I admire about him, and I was so surprised by seeing he's got competitive juice. He wants to win. He understands it's a competition. He appreciates the brotherhood of these guys, but you better believe he wants to get this starting job.
He's got 39-year-old Josh McCown flanking him there, who's a very, very highly paid mentor and head coach who may end up being the starting quarterback again unless Darnold keeps on his pace, as Hopkins coming off his second made field goal, kicking away, and Andre Roberts going to let it bounce, and it goes out, bringing out the penalty flag.
Kickoff out of bounds, kicking team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
So he's been concentrating on ball security.
Yeah, you're going to see him here. He's got one hand on the ball as the blitz comes right in his face. He had 9 fumbles last year in college. He's got to get 2 hands. Jeremy Bates said in all season he spent time with Jordan Palmer. You see him there. He's got 2 hands, and you want to drive that right shoulder through, away from the defender. Ball security is critical. In pro football, you only get 8, 9, 10 possessions. You cannot afford a fumble or a turnover. It's good to see him, and Jeremy Bates said it. Take what he's been working on in practice and training camp to the games.
Single 54. Red 80.
Second possession for the Jets. Here's Powell, taken down after a gain of just 1. It's Jonathan Allen, the other Alabama starter on that defensive line, the #1 pick in 2017 by Washington.
You know, what's interesting about Allen and Payne, the 2 inside guys, former first-round picks. You know, they're in this 3-4 scheme, and really they're run stoppers, Boog. But in sub, these guys stay in. We just saw Payne's pass rush. That's rare to have those type of pass rushers and run stoppers stay on the field for 3 downs.
Athletic big men with athletic big men.
Powell again. as this time he muscles his way to the 46. Now, Deron Payne on the inside for Washington. He is a force, and many around Washington have been blown away, not just by his size book, but his power, his speed.
Well, it's the rare combination, Joe. A guy that can play with power, that can also play with speed. Rarely do you see guys that are 6'1", 305. I haven't seen one like this since myself, Joe. A guy that can be nimble, he can be agile, and he can play 3 downs. He's going to be a 3-down player for the Redskins.
Easy, Boog. Booglake's talking about big men, but he's dropped enough weight where he barely qualifies anymore. 3rd and 3 for Darnold. And gets the completion for a first down to Trey McBride for 13 yards.
You're going to see Sam here. He recognizes the coverage. It's just soft zone, and he reads the entire field. You saw how he started on the right side and then worked back to the left side. He's looking them off and throwing it where his receiver is going to be open, not on the inside. He's got to lead him to create separation for him.
Powell in the slot. Empty look for Darnold on first down. Quickly gets it to the outside to Jermaine Kearse, who steps out. Good look from Darnold.
And one of the things they're talking about with Sam Darnold is his ability to take it from the classroom to the field.
Yeah.
We've seen him now with the zone scheme. He talks about going to the checks and knowing where to go with the ball. He's been in empty a lot tonight, and seeing how it different looks, that's a really good sign for him that he can handle the workload mentally.
I said to Todd Bowles yesterday, I said, where have you seen the most improvement yesterday? You think it would be on the field, something physical? He said, no, that's exactly it. Going from the classroom to then executing on the field. Cerebral guy as well. Not much there on the right side for Bilal Powell.
Yeah, when you look at Jeremy Bates, one of the things that he wanted to get accomplished with Sam Darnold is really simple. Just calling the play, getting all the verbiage out, getting to the line of scrimmage with about 15 seconds left where you can survey the defense, calm down, and see the play. We all take it for granted, but Jeremy Bates had to coach this young rookie on that coming from USC where they didn't do that.
And this is the area of the field, 3rd down. Have a chance to get him in field goal position. These are the areas that you need him to capitalize and take advantage of.
3rd and 4, McBride in motion. Delayed pressure on Darnold. He goes underneath and will have another first down with Trey McBride.
Talked about one of the things I liked about him coming out of college was how quickly he could process information. You're going to see he sees pre-snap that it's man-to-man. He's really going to his back. He gets off of it and comes and checks it down. That's the sign of what you're looking for in a young player, being able to process it and get through your reads.
Listen, you can talk about arm strength and arm talent all you want. In this league, processing, making those quick decisions. Here's Powell out of the backfield, and he steps out for what will be close to a first down. Got marked just short, so it'll be a 9-yard reception.
I like what they're doing with Sam Darnold, guys. Empty formation, motion, allowing him to get a lot of pre-snap information. That time they got him outside the pocket, use his athleticism, give him a run-pass option. He dumped it down to the back in the flat.
Jeremy Bates, the OC, he's out of football for 5 years. An interesting story. His path, getting back to being a play caller. 2nd and 1, Powell, as he will spin ahead for the first down. Good looking drive for Sam Darnold. The second go-round here as the clock counts down to the end of quarter number 1. Darnold, 5 of 6 for 41 yards. Can he finish this drive with a touchdown? We will find out when we come back to Monday Night Football. Joe Witt, Boog and Lisa back with you here. Special preseason edition of Monday Night Football on a Thursday between the Jets and the Skins. Start the second quarter. Redskins 2 field goals, but Sam Darnold marching the Jets down. At USC in the red zone, he had 38 passing touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Last week, he had a 14-yard passing touchdown and didn't throw an interception at all in the game. That came in the red zone as well. This is when he's at his best. 9th play of the drive coming.
False start. Number 79, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, I think when you say that stat about Sam Darnold, one of the things is just he's decisive in his reads. You know, the area of the field there, it shrinks on you. And for a lot of quarterbacks, that equals turnovers because you're pressing to try to score. But confident at the line of scrimmage and just not forcing anything. That's what Sam Darnold's allowed him having success in what he's trying to do here. But Todd Bowles isn't excited about that, having a turnover, having a penalty there in the red zone.
Empty look with Rawls in the near side. Darnold, shallow cross to Rawls. A running back out of Central Michigan. He's been back practicing out of nursing an injury. Goes ahead for 7 yards there.
Yeah, you're going to see the Redskins, they want to stay in this 3-4 front, and they want to storm the castle with these outside guys, and Smith and Kerrigan, really their best pass rushers. And a lot of times down in this area of the field, they don't want to get into sub or nickel. They like Smith and Kerrigan being in the game.
Preston Smith, 8 sacks last year. Here's Rawls getting more work, taken down short of the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1 as Jonathan Allen was able to corral him. Boy, when healthy, Allen is a terror.
He's an absolute load. They missed him last year. He was on IR. But you talk about a guy that's an absolute load in the run game. The ability to help this Redskins run defense. They need help, and I think Jonathan Allen will provide that help inside this year along with Payne.
3rd down and 10. You know, Trey McBride had 2 third-down catches on this drive already. We'll see if Darnold looks his way here. Took too much time, and Preston Smith gets to him. 2nd sack for Washington.
Yeah, that's going to be a coverage sack, Joe. I know we're going to talk about the offensive line not blocking, but when your quarterback gets 2, 3, 4 seconds in the pocket, Sam Darnold has to learn to get rid of the football. And if you're Washington, you can't let him have that much time, Joe.
They just played a soft zone, the Redskins did, and that's what they need to do. They need these front guys to get up and get to the quarterback, create some pressure. You know, Smith's going into a contract year. I played against him a long time. He's got those long arms. Better believe he's going to be rushing that passer a lot this year.
Taylor Bertolet comes on for a 36-yard attempt. And a flag comes in. Carl Cheffers, our referee tonight. Carl was the referee for Super Bowl 51 when the Pats made the epic comeback against the Falcons.
Offside, number 35, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty's declined. The field goal is good. Timeout.
So the 36-yard field goal stands, and the Jets are on the board. Hey, Monday, this circus of ours is going to be in Indy for more preseason action. Colts, Ravens, get going at 8 Eastern. Susie and the gang will have coverage starting at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown. Wittenberg, that means we're going to see Andrew Luck. 585 days between games. Played a couple series in preseason, week 1 against Seattle. Word is, you talk to enough people in Indy, they say he's giddy. His demeanor has changed. Good to be healthy. Good to be back.
Yeah, he's got a joyful approach to it about coming back. You think how grueling of an injury that was, the process to come back and make that recovery. So he's talented. I know he's looking forward to this season starting.
They better protect him in India, otherwise he won't be giddy.
Short kickoff fielded by Marshall. And Marshall able to get out. Ball comes out there. It's still on the ground. The Jets look to have fallen on it. That was Lawrence Thomas who came away with it, and it is a fumble recovery, Jets ball. This is a look of Marshall going to the field. You see that ball coming out. A lot of traffic there to try to find the video evidence. But it is a fumble and a Jets recovery. As it was Copeland who looked like he forced that fumble, and then the big 286-pound fullback and special teamer Lawrence Thomas jumping on it.
Yeah, Copeland came with the can opener, man. Just go rip that hand out, creating turnovers. If you want to find a way to grab the coach's attention, preseason, do it in special teams because they're always watching. They want to know who's going to run down and create plays that make difference in the game.
And if you're Marshall, we're trying to make this team with guys hurt. There's going to be some carries here at the running back situation. You don't want to fumble.
They're going to take a look at this and see if that fumble stands. And if it does, it'll be Darnold in the red zone again. We'll take a quick break. Come right back to Washington. Well, the fumble was overturned in review. It said Byron Marshall's knee was down. So does Redskins ball. Our rules expert, 22-year vet, as a referee, Jeff Triplett. What say you, Jeff?
Yeah, look at his shin and knee there. You can see it down on the ground. The ball's still in the runner's possession. Now it comes out after he's already down.
Good to have Jeff with us. 22 years down there on the field, and now you're up here in the booth. Glad to have you.
180! Push it!
Jets front, stacking things up. As Marshall can breathe for a moment, getting the carry after nearly fumbling it away.
This is a great opportunity for Marshall to prove himself to this Washington team. You talk about he's bounced around the practice squad. He's going to get a lot of carries tonight. Take advantage of the opportunity.
Well, he's got to take advantage of the opportunities now. Guys, you know the ACL. We saw Pirine with a great run earlier. We also saw him limp off the field. And is quickly getting it complete to Cam Sims. Lisa, what can you tell us about Samaje Pirine right now?
Hey, Tess, well, you remember Jay Gruden joked with us that he was reluctant to play anyone tonight because guys are getting hurt. Now another running back is down. Samaje Pirine is back in the locker room being treated for a sprained left ankle. He's listed as questionable, but it's the preseason, so don't be surprised if he does not return to this game. Tess.
Had that 30-yard run earlier. Chris Thompson, we don't expect him to see action for Jay Gruden tonight. We also have Capri Bibbs, third-year player out of Colorado State, who's been active in preseason. Here's Marshall again, taken down at the line of scrimmage, as you saw Jamel Adams coming in and filling from that safety spot, as well as a great-looking rookie in Nathan Shepard.
Yeah, Joe, when you talk about Nathan Shepard, you're talking about a guy who's physical at the point of attack. He's still relatively young to football, though. From high school to college, you talk about a guy that gained over 100 pounds. They want to get him a lot of reps in the preseason. He can engage, he's strong, and use his hands. Great job on the run play there.
Byron Marshall being tended to by the medical staff. I mean, the backstory on Shepard is just dynamic. He was out of football for a few years, but he wouldn't give up. He went to school in Vancouver, lasted just a year, grew up in Canada. They don't give out full scholarships there, folks, so he had to take a job. He worked as a bouncer. He worked in a cardboard box factory on the graveyard shift, and then was sending out his film to U.S. colleges, and a friend said, hey, check out Fort Hays down in Kansas. They gave him a shot. He was a record breaker there on the defensive line. Went to the Senior Bowl, had huge practices, and the Jets took him, and he's been a hard-working, fiery competitor, third-round pick, who's now pegged as a potential starter this year on that defensive line. Second and 10, Kelly back in the game. Tries to spin free and somehow does for a gain of 2 yards, taken down by big Leonard Williams.
And they're trying to count on Shepard to come in here. This is going to be a good test for him. He was shooting the gap, playing small college ball. Now he's taking on double teams, getting to a knee. Take on two so his linebackers can free up and run. It's all about the transition and how quickly you can make it. And this defensive line for the New York Jets, they pride themselves in stopping the run.
They're getting thinned out in that backfield as Capri Bibbs is now in the game for Washington on a 3rd and 8 for Colt McCoy. A-gap pressure. They pick it up for a moment. McCoy drives the ball past midfield and good for a completion to Trey Quinn, a.k.a. Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the NFL draft.
That's just a great catch by Trey Quinn. He's in a competition here, Joe. there's a lot of competition between receivers 3 through 8, whether it's going to be Cam Sims or Trey Quinn. A guy maybe undersized, but he's a very good route runner. Always be in the right spot where he's supposed to.
But he has become a media darling, and he'll tell you he was the best wide receiver in the draft. Forget that end of the 7th round.
180! Wait, hey, we're good. We're good. We're good.
False start, number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Trey Quinn, Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, right. It's been pretty relevant since he was a little kid. He was an accomplished pitcher in Little League. South Lake Charles, Louisiana. Tossed a no-hitter against Indiana in the 08 Little League World Series. 12 strikeouts, allowed only 2 base runners, and his team won 9-0. No-hitter in the Little League World Series. 10 years later, last pick in the NFL draft, and a chance to make this team. They like what he offers. Here's the screen to Bibbs. Bibbs with plenty of room. Inside the 25, Washington on the go. 29 yards from Bibbs.
Joe, sometimes it's just a great play call against the defense. The New York Jets are bringing Jamal Adams off the left side. They have a screen call, perfect play, and Bibbs gets in the open field.
But it's the job he did acting there that set it up. He went right at him to think that he was going to block him. And you got to sell it. You can't do it too early or the defender will pick it up. Really good execution by him by being an actor, selling it, and then slipping out behind.
Not much room that time on the left side. That's a loss of 1. Saw a big Mike Pinnell and Josh Martin clogging things up.
Going back to Quinn, though, that's what you have to do. You have to be physical at the top of the route. He's an undersized guy, right? I played with a guy like that in Cole Beasley, SMU kid. He reminds me the same way. You have to be physical at the top of the route. You're not going to get all the separation you got in college. It's a tight field, and it was a good job by him coming back to that ball and making a play.
Must be something about these undersized SMU kids, huh?
Hey, 5-4, right. Hey, go 33. Rhino, touch.
Hear the sounds of McCoy pre-snap. And then intercepted as Doug Middleton on the return. Sims with his head down, knowing he should have corralled it.
Now watch him. Cole McCoy sees how he's got it. Sims just got to make that play. He knows that he's open, and big turnover. That's what the Jets were working on, getting turnovers. Good start for the Jets D.
Beautiful scenes from our nation's capital. We're not far away here in Landover, Maryland, home of FedEx Field and the Redskins. 2 field goals to 1 early on here, as Doug Middleton just had the interception and the 39-yard return to get Sam Darnold and the Jets offense back out there on the field. Darnold 6 of 7 for 47 yards so far. Bilal Powell trying to reverse course before he is met and taken down by Martrell Spate.
Yeah, young Sam Darnold, things are a little different this week. Last week it was all peaches and cream. He sat back in the pocket. This week he's getting a little pressure. Ryan Kerrigan in his face, forcing the young rookie to move off platform. Now you got the big fella, the dancing bear, Deron Payne, interior pressure. Sam Darnold is going to have to get used to the interior pressure and stepping up in the pocket. And now you have the guy who's playing for a contract in Preston Smith coming off the edge. Darnold cannot hold the football that long.
Darnold goes underneath, smartly so, to Powell as he gets ahead inside the 40 for 11 yards, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, Powell's really having a good game. It's a great opportunity for him. Just understanding he's a dynamic number 2 running back because he can come and do it all. He's good out of the backfield. He can carry the workload. So Sam Darnold trusts him to be there. He looks vertical and then takes the dump down right underneath.
We got an 850.
Rawls comes in now behind Darnold.
Red 80. Hey, touch.
And Rawls Good looking run, finding that seam. 9 yards from Thomas Rawls.
Yeah, you're going to see Washington defense. They talked about in the sub their ability to be able to stop the run. They only got 4 guys. They got to penetrate, and the hole opens up. It makes it tough for them. When it's in 3-4, it's a lot easier because they got every gap covered. But in the sub, spread them out and run the football. Greg Minuski told us we got to be better when it's small ball.
Rawls in the I formation in front of 286-pound Lawrence Thomas. Will be the lead blocker. Didn't choose that hole, and instead found Spate waiting on him. That is Greg Minuski, defensive coordinator for Washington. They're trying to improve what they've been against the run. See, the NFL ranked the last 3 seasons in yards rushing allowed per rush. Of course, Deron Payne, the rookie, and a healthy Jonathan Allen can help solve a lot of that. So interesting to hear Darnold pre-snap, isn't it? Blocked down. Big hand comes up. That was Tim Settle, the rookie from Virginia Tech. Very versatile defensive lineman, can play inside or outside.
Well, you know the thing about Darnold that impresses me, I've been around a lot of rookies, but his patience in the pocket. Yeah, this pass gets knocked down. Great play by Settle. But for Sam Darnold to be patient and calm, I haven't seen a rookie quarterback like this in a long time.
50.
Maybe saying that about a lot of rookie quarterbacks this year. What a crop this is, huh? We were there for Baker Mayfield's debut as well last week. 2nd and 10. Powell runs over a man and then goes forward for a little more as he met up with Danny Johnson, and the next thing you know, Johnson's on his back.
Yeah, but you know, you're going to see it here, though, how they mix it up. They're going to come back to the zone scheme, and it's all about displacement. Everybody thinks it's about vertical movement in this zone scheme. It's really not. It's about horizontal displacement, how you get them to movement, and that's where those holes open up. And so Jeremy Bates is brought here to run the football. Todd Bowles wants to be that. He's under that Bill Parcells tree. He wants to be physical and have the mindset to run first.
Big 3rd down here for Sam Darnold.
3rd and 5. Delayed pressure off the backside. He goes to the near side. Ball came out, but you heard the whistle there as Robbie Anderson was trying to fight for the line to make, but the whistle came in there.
Progress was stopped short of the line to gain. 4th down.
Our rules expert, Jeff Triplett, you heard it right there. Forward progress stopped.
Yeah, but you're going to see Robbie Anderson. He has to know where the chains are. He's a guy that they're counting on him to be a #1 in this offense as a receiver. 941 yards last year. But the biggest thing on 3rd down, Tess, is you got to have awareness of where the chains are. You can't run a hitch route 2 yards short.
Jeff, quick whistle or good with it?
No, I'm good with it. He stopped. He had the runner stopped and was holding him up so that a guy wouldn't punish him there on a tackle.
It's the preseason. Looks like the Jets may think about this going for it on 4th down.
I'm going to use a timeout, it appears here. Play clock was running down to double zeros.
Yeah, but
First
you know,
charge
Brooke,
timeout, Jets. Please set the game clock to 3:26.
I know it's preseason, and you know it's easy to say go for it if you're Todd Bowles, but you know this Jets team's coming off 2 5-11 seasons, 2 5-11 seasons back to back. And so if you want to change the mentality and culture, and that's what Todd Bowles is trying to do. Some say it's a rebuild they're going through right now. But Todd says this is a win-now league. I've been around as a player and assistant and now as a head coach.
You know, you say that, but they're going to have nearly $90 million in cap space next year. They got a young foundation, possibly going to be starting a rookie quarterback. I get that it's win now. He got the contract extension. It could be a year from now that they make the big splash, especially with what they potentially could do in the offseason.
Yeah, it makes sense, Joe. But I think for Todd, his mentality is this season, and especially as a coach. But I like the mentality that he's trying to create. We're going to go for it in the red zone. And it sends a message to your football team. Have trust and confidence in a rookie quarterback. I think it means a lot.
No doubt about it. Winning matters. Going for it, 4th and 1. Offset eye with Powell. Here's Darnold on 4th down. Batted! And that ball is going to be intercepted. That is Troy Apke who made a play on it. The rookie out of Penn State. Everett went up and deflected it, and Apke gets his hands on it.
I treat you special because you very special.
Heck of a play.
Will I forget you? I might probably never.
Joe Witt, Boog and Lisa back here on a Thursday preseason edition of Monday Night Football. 6-3 Redskins had the turnover moments ago.
Yeah, we're going to see on this replay, Everett right here, he's got man-to-man on the running back, Powell. He's got to follow him. And when he goes to block, Everett just frees up right here and gets his hand on that ball. Really good awareness by Everett. His guy goes to block, free up, and get your hand on the ball. That's the mentality. You never know when it's going to come up. Good awareness by Everett.
Good play on the ball by Apke, although obviously would have been a turnover and downs nonetheless, even if he dropped that. McCoy tried to connect over the middle with his tight end, Matt Flanagan, the rookie out of Pitt. That was Kevin Minter coming in to break up that play. 4th season with the Redskins for Colt McCoy. Started 4 games back in 2014. Whit, you know too well what happened on Monday Night Football against your team that year.
Remind me again?
You can remain silent. There's Alex Smith, who we saw earlier tonight. Was 4 of 6 passing for 48 yards.
Hey, spot, we're good. 180.
Here's Bibbs on 2nd down, stacked up at the line of scrimmage as Henry Anderson was quick to get to him.
And you hear Colt McCoy making the calls there. Jay Gruden really loves this guy as a backup quarterback. You know, he signed him to an extension, and he's making those calls. Spot it. He's telling the line who to go to, what guys we're identifying. Leave one for the receiver. Making sure they have numbers in their favor in the run game. That's what you want from a veteran quarterback.
And Whit, I think Colt McCoy fits here also because now with Alex Smith, you have 2 mobile quarterbacks that are athletic, they can move around. So if you're Jay Gruden and you're calling plays, let's say something happens to Alex Smith. You don't have to change the offense when you put Colt McCoy in. He's just as athletic.
Jets using their 2nd timeout. So interesting when you think about the difference between the 2 quarterback situation we've been following all week. You go from the Jets, who have this dynamic room of the veteran and then the comeback guy with Bridgewater, and then obviously the star rookie with Darnold. And there are the Redskins where, there you go, Alex. Here's the playbook. 14 years in the league. Get it done.
Yeah, and Alex is just, he said it earlier, he's invigorated by this challenge, this opportunity to come in here and see if he can get this team over the hump. 8-7-1, 7-9. He thinks he can get them in the postseason.
3rd and 10 for McCoy. McCoy downfield and corralled this time by Cam Sims. Flag is down all the way back at the 13-yard line. That's got to feel good for Sims after what just happened.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 59, defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. Automatic, 1st down.
This is the rookie from Washington State, Frankie Louvu.
Yeah, but Colt McCoy recognizes that it's cover 2 there. He makes it, just stands in there. He knew he just needed a little bit of a time. You see Sims there on the outcut. And Roberts just got to get more depth. It's 3rd and 10. Sink. Force it, throw it underneath. But Colt McCoy brings toughness. Going back to his days in Texas, you know, that's the way he plays. He's a finalist for the Heisman, but he can carry the team. He's a leader. He's an alpha. And it's just perfect to have him as a backup quarterback. Alex Smith said he leans on him a lot in the meetings.
Roughing the passer, but I don't know that wouldn't fall into the bucket of the new point of emphasis of the new helmet rule with what we just saw from Louvu. As here's Quinn to the outside. Let me bring in Jeff Triplett. Trip, you get eyes on this for me, because now we have the foul if a player lowers their head to initiate and make contact with the helmet on an opponent. You tell me.
Yes, he leveled right down and hit him right in the chin. I mean, that's really a rough one.
To me, this is textbook of what we're trying to get rid of in the game.
Exactly.
With the new helmet rule. as we're coming up on the 2-minute warning. That shot that Colt McCoy took there. Take a quick break and come back to this Thursday preseason edition of Monday Night Football from FedEx Field. These New York Jets will get the season going on the doubleheader of Monday Night Football. And then we will have that primetime clash out west of Rams Raiders. Jets Lions, Rams Raiders. Chucky's back. The return of John Gruden to the sidelines. Here's McCoy to Quick. And Brian Quick making his way down towards the 20-yard line. 13-yard reception. Colt McCoy, by the way, in his career, inside of the 2-minute warning, has more interceptions than passing touchdowns and a 53% completion percentage. Let's see what he does here.
Oftentimes, Joe, the game speeds up in those crucial moments you're speaking of.
McCoy, as he gets it to Bibbs, his running back, and he goes for 8 yards. So well managed so far by the backup for Jay Gruden.
Yeah, and the Jets are just playing a soft zone. Coach just working through his read as a veteran quarterback. Dumps it down the back. Clock's ticking. Maybe not allow Jets get an opportunity to get it here before the half.
Line score 6. 180. Please it.
Bibbs on 2nd and 2. As he's able to get that pad leverage and get ahead for that line to make, as he took Xavier Cooper, the 300-pounder from Washington State, for a ride there. Washington with 3 timeouts as the clock counts down to 35 seconds. And Jay's going to use his first of that. Want to remind you that coming up at the half, Susie Colbert and Louis Riddick are going to have highlights and reaction to what they're seeing around the league tonight with NFL preseason action. Got the Eagles and Pats, Steelers and Packers, plus Adam and Mort with plenty of news and notes. And there is so much news always this time of year. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, the preseason debuts. Of course, we have all eyes on Sam Darnold here, but then we will focus our attention, of course, to Teddy Bridgewater. And I think Adam and Mort are going to be tracking what happens with Teddy Bridgewater in the course of the next 3 weeks. Could he be valuable trade bait? Could that young man be the starting quarterback of the Jets in week 1? McCoy on first down as they go with the screen to Bibbs, as he's only able to slip ahead for 3 yards. Tackle by Hewitt.
Yeah, and I think Jay Gruden's really look at this and saying this is an opportunity for them and to look at what they're doing in the red zone. They've gotten some great movement down the field, but can they capitalize and get a score? And that goes back to Alex Smith and what he brings to this offense. And I think it's a tricky deal, Tess, because they have a zone running scheme, and then you have the play action off of it, and it's almost a little bit independent of one another.
Right.
And so then when you add this zone read, where does it all fit? Right? You're only getting 8, 10, 11 possessions, and so that's the challenge for Jay Gruden and his offensive
How
staff.
comfortable do you think he is with that, Whit? Of going in that direction a bit? I
think he's real comfortable because he's seen the success that he's had.
2nd and 7.
Lucky. Rhino. Touch.
Here's McCoy with time. Flag is down as he goes to the end zone, and an acrobatic catch from Cam Sims.
Illegal formation, offense, not enough players on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Illegal formation will bring it back. Somebody was off the line.
You know, that play may come back, Joe, but this is the type of play that'll get Cam Sims a job. There are jobs open on this Redskins team at receiver, and even though the play is coming back, that acrobatic play in the back of the end zone where you go up, those are the chances and the risks that this Redskins offense want Alex Smith to make. Man-to-man coverage, beats him inside, and just goes up and makes an acrobatic catch. You can earn a roster spot doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and the best thing I like about the rookie, short memory.
Yes.
Forgets about it and then comes back to that type of play. They look at him as a potential competitor against Josh Doctson.
Yep.
Should have caught one earlier that was picked off by Middleton. McCoy, as he checks underneath to Bibbs. And a timeout will be used with 8 seconds remaining. Sinkfield had the tackle with Biggs. So great to have Witt up here, soon to be Hall of Famer in the booth. And then there's the 2-time Super Bowl champion with this setup. I mean, look at this thing, Boog. That is unbelievable. You're hovering above the line of scrimmage. You used to play on the line of scrimmage as a big 300-pounder. Now you're above the line of scrimmage, elevated. How you like that view, my man?
Tess, it's an outstanding view up here. You get to see the game from a different perspective. Here's the only thing, Tess. They didn't tell me I was going to be 10 feet in the air. So I'm trying my best, guys, not to look down, but it's a distinctly different vantage point. You can see the communication between safety and corner. The linebackers and the safeties talking. Very distinct view up here.
Got to try to get in the end zone here.
3rd and 7. Exhausted their timeouts. McCoy will take a shot to the end zone. Unable to secure it was Sims. Made the great play just a little bit ago, and then what could have been, as Roberts had coverage on Sims.
Yeah, we talked about opportunity throws, throwing them open, giving them a chance. Back shoulder. Really good effort. He's got to come down. You want to go get that ball at the highest point. Don't allow that defender to get his hand in there. But really good play by Darryl Roberts, reacting to the ball.
There's an old saying, Whit, as a receiver, and you can recognize this. If you get 2 hands on it, you got to catch it, fella.
No question.
So Hopkins trouts out there again. His 3rd field goal of the night. 9-3. Jay Gruden's team on top. Jets will get the ball to start the second half. We'll see some of Teddy Bridgewater. Now let's join Susie Colbert and Louis Riddick in the studio. We are excited for September 10th, the doubleheader, Jets, Lions, and then the Rams, that loaded Rams roster against John Gruden, his return in the black hole. This little boy making his way to see the second half of the Redskins, Jets. 3 field goals for the Skins. Dustin Hopkins, 3 for 3. Bertolette made his one for the Jets, but of course the headline isn't the place kicker. It's the Golden Boy quarterback rookie from USC, Sam Darnold. What'd you make of him?
Yeah, well, I thought it was a good start from him. It wasn't anything sexy, but that's what we wanted to see. Take command of offense. We see him here, working the entire field, processing and then accurate throws. That's a good drive for him. And then the bootleg, getting it out of his hands, allowing Powell to do the work with his legs. Smart in getting through those reads. And then dumping it down to his back quickly. Leading it deep to short and giving him opportunity to get the first down. But this is the one. He forces it. I understand it's 4th down. Everybody's covered. It's just a quick pass out in the flat. It's covered. Throw it away. He has to understand you can live for another day, Joe. You're not going to get them all. But I still think he had a good day. That's 2 weeks in a row. It's only a 2nd game. But as Todd Bowles told us, he's going to evaluate this and the competition's going to play out. But I don't think Darnold did anything tonight to set himself back.
Boog, 8 of 11, 62 yards. That pick off the deflection. What's your take?
Well, I like what Jeremy Bates did. A lot of empty formations, a lot of motion. Made the game really simple for Sam Darnold. That way he knows where to go with the football. But the thing that impresses me about this young man, Joe, he's calm. He was calm under pressure. He's calm in the pocket. That will allow a rookie quarterback to make mistakes and then come back. He's going to make mistakes. We all know that. But can you bounce back as a rookie? I think he can do that. Very calm in the first half for me, Joe.
Number 3 overall pick in the NFL draft. Hopkins will get this second half started. Lucky Whitehead from the 2-yard line. Able to break that first would-be tackler. He's still probing and dancing his way out towards the 20. Let's check in with Lisa.
Hey, Tess, well, I asked Todd Bowles how he thought Sam Darnold played in that first half, and he said not bad. He said that he thought that he showed poise in the pocket, even though he took a couple of sacks. He said one was a coverage sack, and the other, he said, one of our guys got beat coming up the middle, so it wasn't Sam's fault. So overall, he said that he was pleased with Darnold's play. Going into the locker room, he wasn't sure if he was going to give him another series, but it looks like he's now decided to start Teddy Bridgewater in this second half.
So that is the night, Lisa, for Sam Darnold, and here is the comeback kid. Teddy Bridgewater, the former Vikings starter, signed a one-year deal with the Jets and has worked his way back from that catastrophic knee injury. As gobbled up was Thomas Rawls for a loss. Now, Teddy Bridgewater, of course, was a star at Louisville, and with that was the 32nd overall pick in 2014 to the Vikings. Right away was a success. Made the playoffs in 2015, earned a trip to the Pro Bowl. But then in 2016, that devastating knee injury. Had faith, always believed, worked his way back, and now signed on with the Jets. And seemingly, the knee not having a major effect. He has looked good during camp. Bridgewater extending the play here, and then getting it complete to Charles Johnson. They have been hooking up often in camp. 13 yards there. Think about everything he's had to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, just such an emotional case. And I remember seeing that last year when he had the tears coming back. He wasn't even playing, but you know, that's what makes this league special, when guys fight through it. And you know that doubt creeps in at times, and to see him back on this field, and when we visited with him, he just said, I have joy that I'm back playing the game that I love.
He said, I get to wake up and go play football. Makes you appreciate the small things, doesn't it? Here's Rawls as he was tripped up and then met by Spate.
You know, guys, you talk about Teddy Bridgewater, and as a guy myself who had a knee injury, I tore my right patella. The number one thing you want to do when you come back is to get hit, to see if you can still play. Teddy Bridgewater talked about the one thing he wanted to feel was to get hit last week. And once he got hit, he was like, you know what? It's still football. Teddy Bridgewater knows he can still play and that he can be one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the National Football League.
I don't think there's any doubt about that in this version of Bridgewater that we've been watching in recent weeks. 2nd and 9 for a good-looking ball downfield, but incomplete as he was trying to connect with Chad Hansen.
Yeah, one of the things we saw spending time with them this week and watching them in that dual scrimmage is just how accurate of a passer he is.
Yeah.
Staying in the pocket and making these throws. We know he can run and extend plays, but you know, one thing about this Teddy Bridgewater, it's a win-win for the Jets. He plays well, he wins a starting job. If he just does okay and they decide to go with one of the other guys, hey, look, he likely becomes valuable trade bait out there. And so he's just competing. All that'll take care of itself.
You know, you just saw the stat line from last week against Atlanta. As much as Darnold was the darling, Bridgewater played great. 3rd and 9 as he was looking to find Rawls out of the backfield, and they will be punting away.
To your point, you talk about Teddy Bridgewater. He came to New York just wanting an opportunity, and the Jets have given him that. And I think he's shown so far in the first 2 preseason games a guy that's healthy, a guy that can help a team. It may not be here in New York because we know that Sam Darnold is the heir apparent, but I believe Teddy Bridgewater is looking toward 2019 and being a starting quarterback somewhere else.
Edwards going to sky this one deep. And letting it bounce inside the 10 and into the end zone was Trey Quinn. So Teddy's back after the 2 years of working his way back. A lot of GMs around the league will be watching this second half.
Yeah, the Redskins are going to get this drive going, but one of the things I'm looking as the all-season continues, now they're getting to training camp, is some of these weapons they try to add to this roster. Paul Richardson, the speedster coming from Seattle. They let Terrell Pryor go, who really struggled last year for him. And then Ken Doxson, can he come on? 1st-round pick, big, strong, athletic guy. But look, I think the guys that are really going to be featured in this offense is Jordan Reed, Chris Thompson, and Vernon Davis, inside out. And we know Alex Smith, he loves his tight ends and he loves throwing it to his backs.
Well, Whit, I'm with you, especially on Jordan Reed. You know, Jay Gruden has tried to put this offense around Jordan Reed for the last couple of years, but the guy's missed a lot of football. He's going to have to stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's one of the better tight ends in football. And you throw in Vernon Davis, and if Doxson can play, this offense with Alex Smith can be pretty dynamite.
To your point, Boog, Reed has never played a full 16-game season. He has missed multiple games in all 5 of his career years. Bibbs goes ahead for just a yard, tackled by Hewitt. I really like Paul Richardson and what we've seen out of him in being with the Skins at practice, guys.
Yeah, well, one of the things that he did in Seattle, and they're hoping it carries over here, is he's a deep threat. He can really stretch the field, and Jay Gruden loves the play action. That's one of the things he loves to get to, and so you need somebody to take the top end off of it, and Paul Richardson's that guy, but they see him as an intermediate receiver as well. He's got a good camp.
Rhino, touch!
Here's McCoy on 2nd and 9. Underneath and getting it complete to Simi Cobbs, the big-bodied rookie out of Indiana.
You know, going back to Jordan Reed, I know he's been banged up, but I mean, this guy's a difference maker. He's a mismatch player. You know, I studied him a lot over the years. I mean, the quickness and the ability to find the soft spot in the zone. You know, they don't talk about it often, but just you got to feel, and it goes into it. Read the coverage and just sometimes you just got to find it. And Jordan Reed does that, and he can line up out wide on corners with his quickness.
180!
McCoy with time and in stride, getting it to Trey Quinn. Told you, Quinn, former Little League World Series star, last pick in the NFL draft, and a blossoming player for the Skins.
Yeah, Quinn's just going to run this route right over top here, and it's the play action fake. It's the play action fake that they're looking for with him. It puts the defensive guys in binds, the secondary, the linebackers, because you literally got a tight end running right at you. How do you not play the run when that's the situation?
And with also the Jets have got to get pressure on the quarterback. One of the emphasis they want to work on didn't happen there.
180!
Bibbs spinning free that time. As Frankie Louvu looked like he was going to wrap him up.
And you see Jay Gruden just mixing in another zone read. You know, I think he's testing it a little bit. Just see where it is. Okay, let's see the backups run it a little bit. And so that's a big part of Alex's game, just orchestrating that, knowing what the right look is, because you're making a lot of quick decisions on the fly.
There's Alex Smith, 14th season. Way back when, the #1 overall pick by the 49ers in 2005. By the way, Aaron Rodgers went number 24 that year. McCoy, go route downfield, incomplete, beyond the reach of Darvin Kidsey. Coverage by Rashard Robinson.
You're going to see the Jets bring this safety down here. He's going to blitz off the outside. And as soon as Colt McCoy sees that, he sees that matchup one-on-one, and he's going to take advantage of it. That's what Todd Bowles talked about doing, bringing pressure. But you talked about not getting sacks on the up front with their pass rush. They'll bring it from different ways. That's what Todd Bowles does. He wants these secondary to be physical at the line of scrimmage.
They're still searching for that guy who can beat a man one-on-one and get to the quarterback. So they'll do it that way if they have to. Out of the backfield, but met right away was Bibbs. That was Robinson coming up to make the stop. And it'll be 4th down. Punt unit will trot out on there.
You know, Joe, we talk a lot about pass rush. I think it's important to understand these are 2, 3, 4 defensive teams, and we're talking about the outside linebacker's ability to rush the passer. That's a tough position to scout. Therefore, you're not getting a lot of guys in the draft coming to the NFL. So teams that run 3, 4 defenses in the NFL, there's not a lot of outside linebackers. They're having to coach them up. Not going well so far.
Whitehead calls for the fair catch. Does so hovering around the 10-yard line. Teddy Bridgewater in the last 2 years has only had 2 pass attempts. Things are going to change this fall for Mr. Bridgewater. Will he be with the Jets or somewhere else? preseason edition of Monday Night Football, and this guy's glad to be out on the field. Teddy Bridgewater. There were so many doubts in the course of the last 2 years after the knee injury, but remember this version of Teddy, 2015 with the Vikings.
Yeah, it really was special. I mean, he did it inside the pocket. He did it outside the pocket. Big throws, creating, and then just trusting the system. So you see him here with this big fist pump. He's an emotional player, and you said it, Tess. He's been doubted his whole life, and he's completely fine with it. But the one thing that I was surprised to hear him say is that he feels like he has zero restrictions on his knee. And so I know when he wakes up, that gives him a lot of confidence that he can get back to that Pro Bowl level.
Hey, kill.
Love Teddy checking at the line right there, guys.
Does so to the boot and gets it to the outside and into the hands of Clive Walford, who still keeps his balance to go ahead. A Jets first down. Lisa.
Hey, Tess, and you know, when we were talking to Teddy Bridgewater just yesterday, he's just so appreciative and so thankful to be playing football again. He said just to be able to wake up and only think about football. He was talking to us about almost losing his leg. Not many people know that he could have lost his leg. The injury was so devastating. Struggling just to be able to put his socks on and just taking it one challenge at a time. We were asking him, what kind of player do you think people are going to see? We haven't seen you in almost 2 years. What are people going to see? And he said that he thinks that people are going to see the very same Teddy Bridgewater that they saw before he got hurt. And how about this? He said, I think I might be even better.
He may be, Lisa. I mean, we have been wowed at times in watching him when we've been at practice. By the way, like so many successful men, he credits his mom and the shining example she was of overcoming breast cancer. Said it helped a lot. I understood she never once had a negative thought. Oh, he said the cancer feeds off negativity. He said he did not have a negative thought during his rehab process because of the inspiration that she was. As he was unable to connect with Eric Tomlinson.
I tell you what, though, he's been really accurate. He's had 3 drops. I mean, those are tough throws. And, you know, Boog, one of the things he did there that I think it's clever, you talked about checking at the line. That's one of those dummy kills.
Yeah.
You know, they think they're going to run the zone scheme. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give them the dummy kill, boys. The communication in the huddle to let them know I'm going to outflank them mentally. He has improved his mental aspect of the game, is seeing the coverages and identify it and then trusting his instincts.
Those are things you get from studying and watching and not playing on the field.
3rd and 11. They bring 4 against Teddy. Pressured, but still gets it to Rawls, and a flag is down. It was Zach Vigil who was swiping at Teddy Bridgewater.
Holding, number 70, offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down. That foul caused the quarterback, caused a contact with the quarterback.
That was a hit. Bottom of his leg by Pete Robertson. Teddy talked about that was the feeling he wanted, to know that he could get hit, get up, and move on. Experienced that last week. So Edwards on to punt again. And Quinn will field this at the 10. And a good return from Trey Quinn, the do-it-all. Quite relevant, isn't he? No matter that draft position. Fun to watch. Little wiggle to Trey Quinn. More to come. We'll see the Washington Monument and that glorious reflection on the mall. Teddy Bridgewater, tablet in hands. Always ready, always learning.
180. What is that?
Martez Carter is the back now with Kevin Hogan in. And he bounces it and kept his balance to the outside. The rookie from Grambling State, and at the end of that, a flag reigns in.
Personal foul, number 59, defense, lowering the head to initiate contact. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. Automatic. First down.
Well, this, we thought they could have tagged on Luvu in the first half. Watch here. Can't do it. Gone from the game, starting now. Player lowers his head to initiate and make contact with the helmet on an opponent. That's a foul.
Yeah, and there's been a big emphasis on that, but you see that was clearly a penalty.
180. What is that?
Here's Carter again. And look at Martez Carter. Finally tracked down. "33-yard run by Carter."
Just a nice little ISO, except Carter sees it. Sometimes you go out the back end, and when they do that, you better watch out because he just has that kind of playmaking ability. You're going to see him. It gets stuffed inside. They call that a jump cut, Boog, and pop it outside. Carter sees this as an opportunity to show him that he's got some game.
This time, nothing inside for Carter. Just a gain of 1.
And for Carter, Witt, it's still another opportunity. Geis is down. We saw P. Ryan get hurt early in this game. Kelly. The more running backs you can have, the merrier. So good, nice playing for this young man here in the second half.
Kevin Hogan, quarterback from Stanford, who's back home. Grew up in McLean, Virginia. Went to Gonzaga College High School. Third-string quarterback for the Redskins.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 180. What is that?
2nd and 9. Carter again. No gain as Brandon Copeland makes the tackle. Last couple of years were in Cleveland. Made a start for the Browns, did Hogan. They lost to Houston in week 6 through 3 interceptions in that game. At Stanford, he was great, Hogan. Won a couple of Pac-12 championships, had the 2 Rose Bowl appearances, beat Cal twice, was a bowl MVP.
He's a guy that's been cut before, Joe, so you know he values this time in the second half of a preseason game. He understands that it means maybe his job, maybe it doesn't.
He was originally a 5th-round pick of the Chiefs, so he spent time with Alex Smith there a couple of years ago. 3rd down and 9 now for Hogan and Washington. Looking left, now going to tuck and run, and was tracked down easily at the line of scrimmage by Terrence Brooks, the 5th-year safety out of Florida State.
Yeah, we've seen the Redskins get down here in the red zone a lot. Got to give the Jets secondary a lot of credit. They're playing this soft zone defense, and they're just passing it off really good. And the quarterback just has nowhere to go with the ball. We talked about you want to force it underneath and then rally to the tackle. Good job of the Jets defense all night.
Dustin Hopkins has been a busy man. 4th field goal attempt of the night here. This from 28. And he stays perfect. Hogan with the vet talking things over. More from FedEx Field when we come back. SportsCenter Night's going to have Kenny Mayne and John Buccigross tonight. That's a must-watch. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's preseason debuts. I'm looking at Brady's stat line. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, Whit. Guys will talk about it. Of course, they'll have the reaction of what we saw with Sam Darnold tonight and where that leaves the Jets, and Duke freshman basketball player R.J. Barrett on the importance of social media. At a SportsCenter at night, right after we finish up with this preseason edition, Thursday special of Monday Night Football. Redskins have had 4 red zone possessions, and they have come away with 4 field goals. Lisa has a very special guest of interest here in Washington.
Thanks, Seth. Alex, you told me you weren't going to play long. You ended up playing a series, but I thought maybe after that first play, the very first play of the game when you got crushed, that maybe you should just go out then. Like, what were you thinking when you just got smashed?
To be honest, you know, it's almost a blessing, you know, to go out there. You haven't played in a long time. You haven't taken a hit. We've been wearing, you know, yellow jerseys all off season, and to kind of get that first shot, get the completion. It was nice. It was a nice way to start it off, kind of get the cobwebs out, get you back into football mode right away. You know, I thought we did a nice job, gotten some rhythm, which was nice, moved the chains. Unfortunately, couldn't finish it off. It's kind of been a story tonight for us. So, but yeah, it was good to get a little rhythm going, good to get in there to huddle with the guys, and get out on the field again.
They say change is good. How has the change been for you so far coming here to Washington?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, it's way too soon to evaluate, right? I mean, we're full steam ahead. We got a lot ahead of us. Everything's staring at opening day like everybody around the league right now. So we got a lot ahead of us to work for, to prepare for that. That's all that really matters right now. But way too soon to evaluate.
What was your mindset coming into this new situation, new teammates, new building, everything?
Oh, for me, let's go. I mean, it was an opportunity. You know, and everything I've been through in my career, never take it for granted. And how thankful I am for this opportunity. I'm gonna do everything I can with it, work as hard as I can, you know, and make the most of this. And thankfully, we got a bunch of teammates I think that think the same way.
Now, it surprised me when you told us the other day that you feel like you've got to prove it. Despite the big numbers you put up in Kansas City, everybody knows what you can do. You say you feel like you got to come in here and prove it. That means nothing.
Yeah, I feel like I have more to prove than ever, and I feel like I'm in a great place to do it, and excited about that. I'm excited about that challenge. Back in a new conference, new division. We got a tough schedule, but you know what? You know, wouldn't have it any other way. I'm excited for it. We got a bunch of guys, like I said, I think that have that same mentality. So pumped to be here.
What do you like about this offense?
Well, I just think how versatile we are. And I don't think there's anything we can't do or won't do. We got coaches that are creative, great teachers, putting us in great situations. I think we got a bunch of guys that are really, really talented and that can handle the volume.
Thank you, Alex. Have a great season.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa.
Tess.
Yeah, he's probably primed for one here in Washington, Lisa. Edwards is going to punt away to Quinn. Jared Fernandez had the sack moments ago. Here's Quinn on the punt return as he's taken down at the 40. That was the third sack of the night for Washington. Alex Smith says, what was your reaction? You come here to Washington. He says, let's go. Let's go. He is driven. He is competitive. And he still feels like he's a lot to prove.
Yeah, and he's bringing some of this that he did so well, taking command in and out of the huddle, line of scrimmage. You're going to see him there, making the checks, sends the motion, sends him back, cross in motion, fakes the zone read, shovel pass to Travis Kelce for a touchdown. Listen, this is what Alex Smith brings. He brings a versatility. He can stand in the pocket, play action, get an empty, make all the calls, orchestrate this running game, and then the zone reads, the RPOs. He's comfortable, and really, that's where he's best at.
Here's a jet motion with Simi Cobbs that goes for a loss as Luvu makes the tackle. Well, Boog, this is the second time in Alex Smith's career that he has been traded after a young quarterback has bubbled up at a franchise. Of course, Kaepernick was in San Francisco, and then last year, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. The way he handled the situation with Mahomes in KC, that of a class act.
No doubt. And I think for me, Joe, it just shows that he's very comfortable being who he is. There was a point in time in his career, Alex Smith would have got ruffled a little bit when you talk about Patrick Mahomes. Now, he's the wily old veteran, understands who he is and what he brings to a team. The Redskins are getting a great quarterback here that can run the offense that Jay Gruden wants.
Yeah, Bogan, you know, one of the things that I was interested to hear from him was, you know, going into year 14, he's got a family. He went to 4 out of 5 playoff games. He's established there in Kansas City. Andy Reid, he helped build what they were trying to do there, and then he gets traded. And so I think it was really interesting to see, is he going to be bitter? What's his approach? He's excited. He said, let's go to work. That's what I want to do, and he's all in, and he knows this is a tough division.
We had such a positive visit with him the other day. I mean, he's just 34 years old, 14 years in the league, and he is juiced. So excited for this challenge. Here's Hogan. Flag is down. This may all be coming back as Hogan gives the extra effort to try to get to that line. Helping hand from his linebacker, Brown.
Holding, number 66, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
Hey, Joe, if they gave you $94 million, would you be excited?
Oh, Boog, I'd be very excited.
Listen, we talk about the guy being excited. They gave him a huge extension. I'd be excited too, especially when you're wanted with. It's nothing like having a coaching staff that wants you here. We all know Mahomes was the heir apparent in Kansas City, and he wasn't wanted. Now he's wanted here in D.C., and that's a great feeling to be wanted.
Yeah, not just wanted in the financial aspect, Book. Just wanted to be a part of it on the journey. Talk about in the QB room, all the different things with the guys. Much bigger than that.
Talked about this being a young team. They go with an inside screen to Bibbs, and how he wants to play that role, a team that could be uncomfortable with the ups and downs, to be a presence, especially early on, to make sure things don't go sideways. Alex Smith could be a big year ahead with Washington. Great to be with you for the Thursday preseason edition of Monday Night Football here in Washington. Joe Tessitore and Jason Witten upstairs, our field level analyst hovering on his perch is Booger McFarland, of course the veteran reporter Lisa Salter. Start of the fourth quarter. Touchdown free football to open up Monday Night Football preseason action. 12-3 Washington. As Tressway will be punting away. Lucky Whitehead lets it bounce, then fields it at the 26. You know, one of the things that Alex Smith said to us is that he's fired up to simply play in the NFC East. So let's take a closer look at the New York Giants. Witten Boog's breakdown of the New York Giants. What do you think of your longtime rivals, Whit?
Well, I think they're going to be better. First off, I really don't look at them as a 3-13 team last year. They were closer in a lot of those games than people think. I mean, Eli's won 2 Super Bowl championships. He's going to come back. He gets his arsenal of weapons. Odell Beckham. And oh, by the way, with the number 2 pick, they draft Saquon Barkley.
He's something special. Dealing with a mild strain right now. Teddy Bridgewater starts his fourth quarter, able to connect with George Atkinson, who gets free and passes midfield down to the 41, a 30-yard play for Atkinson.
You're going to see on this replay, Teddy just sees it. As soon as those linebackers get depth, he drops it down to the back. That's the thing Teddy said he improved on when we asked him, is he feels like he's seeing the field and understanding coverage is a lot quicker. And getting that ball to the back helps him get some run after catch.
Play action. Bridgewater incomplete. All right, Boog, we heard from Witt on the Giants. We spent a day with them at training camp last week. What do you make of them?
Well, I think the Giants are going to be better, especially up front. They bring in Nate Solder. You draft Will Hernandez from UTEP at the guard position. The key for me to that entire offense, we know about Eli and Odell, is going to be Eric Flowers at right tackle. He struggled mightily at left tackle. Now you're going to put him at right tackle and all of a sudden think he's going to be fixed. He's got to block. If he does, I think they can be a 9-10 win team in New York because the offense can be dynamite with Beckham and Shepard. And don't forget about Evan Ingram.
Yeah, and I understand your concerns about that offensive line and the Giants. I mean, certainly Soldier helps them get better. But, look, that's Pat Shurmur. He comes in. What he did in Minnesota last year with Case Keenum. They want to run the football. Then they're going to take their chances on play action, extending plays. And, you know, we visited with Pat a few weeks ago. He said he felt like he has grown since his experience as head coach for the Cleveland Browns. And so I think he's coming in there, a little chip on the shoulder of this football team as they build it back. One thing about Eli, he's got a lot of playmakers around him.
I still believe in Eli. I still think Eli has a lot of football left in him.
Of course, Evan Ingram, very fluid, young tight ends. Odell on the outside, as good as there is. And now the number 2 pick in the backfield at running back was Saquon Barkley. Clive Walford with the reception that'll move the chains for 6 yards. All right, that's the Giants. Let's talk about the Cowboys a bit. You know, they're missing a future Hall of Fame tight end. Des Bryant, obviously they separated ways with. So right off the top, I'll let you deal with that headline, Jason Witten.
Well, look, they got to have somebody in this wide receiver group step up and make those plays. I mean, they have a lot of different guys that have had success. I played with a lot of them. And look, they've done it. I mean, we all know about their offensive line and running the football and getting Ezekiel Elliott back in there, who led the league in rushing his rookie year. And Dak does a lot of these things that we're talking about Alex Smith, running the zone reads, the RPOs, a lot of those different things. But the receiving core, they are really embracing this challenge that they have of saying, okay, you think we're a bunch of no-names, we're going to see. But this is a tough division. Janoris Jenkins. Then you understand about the pass rush of the Philadelphia Eagles. And then here, Josh Norman, the Redskins. And so it's going to be a tough challenge for them, but, you know, they're embracing that. They feel like making it Dak-friendly is something that's important to them.
But let me ask you a question when it comes to the Cowboys. If this guy's traveling around the country with us ordering bottles of cab at your charcuterie, who's the leader of that team now, my man?
It's got to be Dak Prescott, and I think the weight of the world is going to be on him because he's going to have to lead the offense. I understand about Zeke Elliott and the running game and the big offensive line, but guys, this is a passing league. Your quarterback is going to have to throw the football, and Dak Prescott is going to have to lead that charge. And
how about Bridgewater right there, staying alive and then going down and connecting with Peak?
Yeah, it's just a veteran move by Bridgewater. I think the biggest issue for Dallas is going to be on defense. I love Rob Marinelli. He's like a father figure to me. But you can only coach what you got. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And I'm afraid that the Dallas Cowboys may not have enough talent on the field defensively to get it done. And I think that's going to be an area that's going to be concerning for me down the stretch.
Well, especially in this division with these offenses. Alex Smith coming here. We know about Carson Wentz in Philadelphia. And we just talked about the weapons that Eli's got at his disposal. Got it.
Oh, my! Great effort that time as Peak gets the touchdown catch from Teddy Bridgewater.
What a throw, guys. What a throw.
And how good does that feel after the last 2 years for Teddy?
Yeah, Teddy's he's feeling confident. He's made a lot of good throws today. Some have been drops. But see that little shoulder turn? He pulls that defender up. Just a little bit of a shoulder turn. And then Peak, understanding you got to get to the corner. What happens is, as soon as Teddy sees that those corner and the safety didn't pass it off, they call it old scissors route. One goes on the post and one goes on the corner. And when he realizes it, he was ready to check that down, but just the little subtle movements of his shoulder. That's the little things that Bridgewater's added to his game. And a big reason was he said, I want to improve while I'm out with this injury.
Must be something about 7th round wide receiver picks tonight. That was Peak in 2016. He was getting the call late. You know, he got up and got after it on the glory end of Bridgewater's call. Of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and they have just confirmed that as a touchdown catch for Teron Peak, his 3rd year out of Clemson. Just sneaking in on the extra point from Bertolet. Our first touchdown of the game. Been a long road back for Teddy Bridgewater. Feels so good. It was a good-looking drive we just saw out of Teddy Bridgewater. 4 of 5, 65 yards, converted 3 first downs, and had that beautiful 16-yard touchdown toss to Teron Peak.
Yeah, you're going to see on this replay, really good touchdown throw. But what's going to happen is Quinn Blanding right here. I want you to keep your eyes on him. He's going to drop back in coverage, and when he does that, you're going to see Teddy Bridgewater, when he drops, he just turns his shoulders just a little bit to get him to draw up. He needs to sink. And when he steps up, Teddy sees it. It's pulling the defender, just a simple shoulder turn, and Blanding bid on it. And when he did, Teddy just be able to put a nice little touch on it for the touchdown pass. So it's just all works together. How you want to manipulate the defenders is a big part of playing quarterback position.
You know, as good of a play as that was by Bridgewater, tremendous athleticism by Peak to get that foot down and an elbow down. You know, 1 knee equals 2 feet. Kidsey on the return here. How about 1 foot and 1 elbow equals a good reception? Let's bring in Jeff Triplett, 22-year NFL veteran referee.
Yeah,
add it up for us, Jeff.
That catch is just outstanding. I mean, look at this. See that elbow, right elbow go down on the ground. That's that body part that we needed down, just like a knee.
By the way, welcome
great.
To the crew, my man.
Thank you very much.
You enjoying yourself?
I'm having a ball.
A little different pressure down there.
It's a little different, but it's I miss that down on the field sometimes.
Glad to have you. Kevin Hogan getting extended time at quarterback here. Carter goes for 1 yard. Lisa?
Thanks, Tess. I'm with Jets wide receiver Jermaine Kearse. Jermaine, we were sitting here waiting for this interview, and when Teddy threw that touchdown pass, you jumped off the table. You were so excited. How come?
I just know the work that he's put in. I see it day in and day out, and for him to be able to go out there and just showcase his ability, I get excited about that.
Now, you guys have only been teammates for a couple of months, but you said your lockers are right next to each other, so you talk a lot. And what has he told you just about his story?
He had the early success in Minnesota, and then unfortunately he had to hit some adversity, and just how he just battles between overcoming that, and it kind of helps me, and just with the things that I'm dealing with, whether it's just certain things that you just be able to overcome, and so I like to learn from him, and he's been a good help in that.
Now it's a three-man competition for the #1 spot with the Jets. Just tell me what you've seen let's start with Teddy. What have you seen from Teddy in practice every day? What do you like about him?
He just brings his hard hat to work every day. He's a competitor, and he just works hard every day, and you see it out there on the field, and you see it out there during the game. So he just continues to just grind, and that's all we can ask for.
How about the rookie? What's impressed you about Sam Darnold?
He's looked really good. His composure, he's just so poised out there. He's eager to learn every day, and so we're excited for his progression.
Well, thank you very much. We hope you have a great season, Jermaine. Tess?
Thank you, Lisa. Jermaine Kearse looking to be a big part of the productive wide receiver core for the Jets. Darnold was 8 of 11 for 62 yards. Had that ball that was deflected for an interception. Bridgewater 8 of 12, 101 yards, a touchdown moments ago. By the way, now 2 preseason touchdowns for Teddy Bridgewater. His last competitive passing touchdown was week 16 of 2015 against the Giants. Here's Whitehead fielding the punt. Made the first man miss, the second as well. And then eventually taken down. Talk about how the Jets size things up for their division when we come back. Bridgewater, Jets quarterbacks tonight, both with 8 completions. Darnold threw the interception. Bridgewater just had the touchdown pass. Is he the veteran security blanket? Do they keep 3 quarterbacks, or is he trade bait to land elsewhere? Joe Tessitore, Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters with you for this Thursday preseason edition of Monday Night Football.
Base, base. Ready, here we go, set. Ready. Hey, kill.
There's that kill call again from Teddy.
Broadway, set.
Play action downfield, and that is intercepted. Prince Charles Iwora coming up with the pick off of Teddy.
Yeah, you're going to see Teddy just off the play action. He's got time. He sees the matchup one-on-one, and he's just trying to give his guy, he's trying to give him an opportunity, Charles Johnson, on a one-on-one. I like the mindset, but just when you go to the back shoulder and you predetermine that's where you're going to go, it's tricky throws, risk versus reward, and we've seen him make that throw a lot. I thought he's been really accurate tonight. He'd like to have that one back, I'm sure.
Yeah, when he went back shoulder there, in my opinion, he should have thrown it high into the outside. That's either a catch or that's an incomplete pass out of bounds. He'd love to have that one back, as you said.
Iwora played at Western Kentucky. Originally selected in the 7th round by the 49ers. Carter is tackled for a loss. That was Deion Simon, second-year player out of Northwestern State. Well, we talked about where Washington fits in to the NFC East in comparison to the Giants and Cowboys. Of course, the Super Bowl champs stay atop things. In terms of the Jets, and framing them against the Bills and the Dolphins, all looking up the mountain at the Patriots. Let's dig into that conversation a little bit.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills are improving. You've seen what they did last year. And here's the Dolphins. You see, they're getting Tannehill back, right? Adam Gase says he's got a lot of confidence in him. Some people think that they're a dark horse. Look, we know Gase wants to get this offense attack. He said, though, he's trying to change the culture. I don't know, Boog. That's hard. Now, you keep talking about changing the culture and what they're trying to do. It's a tough division. We know it's got to run through New England, but the Jets coming off 5-11 season in the last 2 years. They've been close in a lot of those games. Just do they have enough playmakers to get over the hump? That's the question on the Jets.
You know, you just start to wonder what the Dolphins are doing. You know, Tannehill is down there. He's coming off a knee injury. My concern with is going to be, as you said, the playmakers. They traded away Jay Ajayi out of the backfield. That's a guy I would have kept. He's a really, really good running back. Now, who's going to run the football? You're putting a lot of pressure on your young quarterback, Tannehill. I know Adam Gase thinks he's a genius, but that's a lot of pressure on that young man.
Yeah, and Jarvis Landry, he's gone now, had 100 catches last year. He's in Cleveland, and so, I mean, they're losing a leader in him, too. I don't know if we saw that Hard Knock special when he got up in Cleveland and talked about, you know, challenging those guys. If you're not hurt, you need to be out there on the field. You miss that type of leadership.
Whit, you kill me, man. A euphemism, the challenge would be a euphemism for dropping 22 F-bombs on that HBO docuseries of the wide receiver room where he was spray painting the room with F-bombs. Would that be the challenge?
I think Adam Gase has a little bit of that too down there. But he has this offensive mindset. And he's excited for Tannehill to come back and that culture they're trying to create. And they really want to take it vertical in their passing game. They want to attack down the field. And we'll see.
Here's Whitehead again, coming up to field this at the 24. Take a quick break. We'll talk about the Bills. Think about the Jets up against the Bills in the AFC East. Stay with us. It's his 4th year with the Jets, had that 10-win season and then back-to-back 5 and 11 years. Of course, everybody in the AFC East chasing the Patriots. ESPN's FPI, the Football Power Index, says the Patriots have an 84% chance to win the division yet again, highest of any team in the NFL. So we're talking about the other teams, the Jets, the Dolphins, and what do you make of Buffalo?
Yeah, well, I think that's another ball club that may be playing a rookie quarterback in Josh Allen. I mean, he's got a little bit more to learn. He's a little raw, but he's got a big arm. And so, but Sean McDermott, I used to go against him when he was in Philadelphia. He's smart. He comes from that Jim Johnson defense, a lot of pressure, brings it a lot of different ways. And so they created some confidence sneaking in the postseason.
There were some wow moments from Josh Allen in his preseason debut with that arm strength. There's Atkinson again, another good effort from the 3rd-year player out of Notre Dame. Boog, are you buying Josh Allen early on?
No, I'm not, Jess. I think when you look at Josh Allen, of all the quarterbacks that came out, he was the rawest. We talked a lot about his completion percentage, his ability. Was it playing at Wyoming against that level of competition, or was it just because he's not an accurate quarterback? I think in Buffalo, no matter which quarterback you go with, it's going to be all about Shady McCoy. What is going to happen with his legal situation? We don't know that. On defense, Sean McDermott, love him as a coordinator. He has a rookie middle linebacker from Virginia Tech, Tremaine Edmonds. How fast that young rookie comes across is going to be key to how fast that defense plays up to speed.
He is a physical freak,
yes.
Greatly gifted.
Yes.
Runs sideline to sideline.
You know, I was a little surprised they traded Tyrod Taylor. I mean, he played really good football last year, getting him in the playoffs. And he's an athletic guy. Similar to what we're saying about some of the zone read and the RPOs, he plays well in that. And so he's a leader. He established a lot the last couple years in building that program. I think Tyrod was a little bit surprised they let him go.
Yeah, I do too. For me, Tyrod Taylor is a starting quarterback in this league. Now you have A.J. McCarron. Is he going to be a placeholder for Josh Allen? I'm not sure, but I know Tyrod Taylor's happy right now that he's starting in Cleveland.
See how
as we were talking last week with everything Baker Mayfield did, as Teddy looks to extend here on 2nd and 8. And he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. The situation in Cleveland is so different than the situation with the Jets when it comes to the quarterbacks, because the Jets are freely going about having an open competition. Yes, you have McCown at 39 years old, and you know exactly what the floor is there. You know exactly what you're getting reliably with that guy, Josh McCown. Then you got Bridgewater. We've seen plenty of him last week, plenty of him here in the second half this week. And, of course, Darnold, the future of the franchise. Well, the future of the franchise in Cleveland has been told, you're not going to be the starting quarterback right now.
Yeah, that's really surprising. You know, I mean, not to say that he's going to win the job, but I just think that it affects the whole mindset of the competitor. I mean, I can tell you, you know, Dallas drafted a number of second-round tight ends, and, you know, I may have not liked it at the time, but it created an environment for me to compete. And I can tell you, all athletes reach their fullest and their best when they have to compete. And so, you know, for both of them, who knows how it'll play out, but John Dorsey, Hugh Jackson, they know something what they want to do, and they feel like letting him to take a red shirt, groom him up. I played for Todd Haley. He's a fiery guy, and you know, so it's going to be a good system. And they played, both of them played really well in the first preseason game.
By the way, your old teammate Des Bryant may be ending up there soon enough. Thomas Rawls goes ahead for 3. Now, the big takeaway tonight will be, what do you make of Sam Darnold and what he was able to do tonight compared to all the buzz that we had last week in his game against Atlanta. Against Atlanta, he had the 13 completions, the 96 yards, the touchdown pass, a passer rating of 103. Tonight, 8 of 11, 62 yards, no touchdowns, and the interception. And then you see Teddy's stat line. Great touchdown pass to Pete. Interception on that last possession. Good job getting the man in the air and then making his way ahead for 5. That was Vontae Diggs who went airborne off the punt.
And Teddy's got a nice little grin on his face, and he looks pretty good. You're going to see him come on the bootleg. He doesn't like it. Go up and under there and run the football. He's got an infectious way about him. And, you know, I tell you that they're going to get on this plane and go back home to New York. And, you know, Todd Bowles and his staff, they're going to be scratching their head because I don't think they're going to learn anything about the separation in this game tonight. We know Josh McCown's had a really good camp. He's coming off career highs. We can't forget about him in his 16th year. He's still competing for this job.
3rd and 4. And here is Stewart, or Darius Stewart. Flag is down. Second-year player out of Alabama. If it stands, it's a 17-yard reception.
It's like the meeting of the minds in on there, Joe.
I've been to some of these officiating conventions, usually at a Chicago airport hotel, but apparently they've moved it to midfield here in Washington.
You know, I think it's possibly one of these helmet-to-helmet.
Personal foul. Lowering the head to initiate contact. Number 37, defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
This is Fish Smithson. I don't know that that falls in line with what we've been seeing a lot in the examples of what they're trying to enforce.
That was a little shaky there, Joe.
Hey, single, 5-8.
Teddy's checking at the line. He sees something.
Atkinson able to get down inside the 2. And he's always got that smile on his face, doesn't he?
He does. He plays that way, too. I mean, not only when you visit with him, see him in meetings, how he carries himself in and out of the huddle, but it's an infectious way about him.
He's just happy to be out here playing again. I mean, there was one point I know we all thought he may not play again, and for this guy to be competing and showing the other 31 teams, because he knows it's probably not going to be here in New York, that he can still be a capable starting quarterback. It's a pleasure for him.
Atkinson. No signal yet. You know, it's not uncommon, obviously. Past couple of years, a team trades for a quarterback late in the preseason, and that quarterback goes on to become the regular starter that year. 2016, Sam Bradford dealt from the Eagles to the Vikings. Patriots sent Jacoby Brissett to the Colts. Both those deals happened in the first week of September. Will that be the case for Teddy Bridgewater? We will talk more about that potential of the trade when we return. Hey, folks, a reminder, we've got more preseason Monday Night Football action coming your way. Monday, we're going to be in Indianapolis as the Colts meet up with the Ravens. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern. Susie Colber, Louis Riddick, and the gang will have coverage with Monday Night Countdown at 7 Eastern. I'm looking forward to spending time with Andrew Luck when we get to town. Speaking of quarterbacks on the comeback, as Sam Darnold and the gang watch Teddy Bridgewater, who been getting extended time here in the second half, and on this drive has converted a couple of good-looking third downs. Had the 3rd and 8, hit Johnson for 9 yards. Had the 3rd and 4, connected with our Darius Stewart for 17 yards. And now facing a 3rd and goal, inches away from that line. Atkinson met in the backfield right away. No time to even think about it. That was Alex McAllister knifing in.
You see him come off the edge. He's just unblocked. Winooski said they want to bring it. McAllister said, yes, sir, I will bring it. Big stop and holding them there to 3, potentially. That's what Greg Winooski. We saw Greg Winooski earlier with the Fu Manchu. He wears that Schmedium shirt. And look at it. You see it right there? That jacket's a Schmedium, Boog.
Hey, it's just a great play by Casanova McKenzie coming off the edge there. If you're an offense, that guy's unblocked. So either you have to call the naked bootleg or your running back's going to get hit in the mouth. Great play by McKenzie.
But Todd Bowles, his demeanor is he's physical. It's a mindset. Late in the game, preseason week 2, he's evaluating. That's his mindset running the football.
So Bertolet on for the short field goal attempt. And with it, the Jets go up 13-12. Bertolet, the kicker on Johnny Manziel's Heisman Trophy winning Texas A&M team.
Yeah, we're going to see Teddy Bridgewater. You see that big smile on his face. A lot of reasons. Dummy kill early, tricking him, thinking it's run, fake, unblocked, get it out to his playmaker's hands quickly. Good awareness. Then inside the pocket, a little juke, reset the feet, strike for the corner route. Then you're going to see him, that little shoulder turn on this touchdown throw. I can't tell you, it's a subtle thing, Boog, but it's what the elite quarterbacks do. He just put them on a joystick and take the defender where you want to go. He's got a lot of smile about, talked about he just wanted to run the offense, but he knows in a competition like this, at some point, you got to impose yourself. You got to make a play that's something different. You got to stick out. And that's what he did on that touchdown throw, just subtly moving his shoulders to open up that corner route. I tell you, that's a big night and really a really good camp for him. He's back in the race. I mean, I don't think he ever left, but I mean, he's for real, guys.
You know, it's amazing. We talk a lot about the young rookie, Sam Darnold, and rightfully so. But in the practices I've seen and the 2 games that I've seen, I think Teddy Bridgewater may have looked the best. Because if you look at his decision-making and his ability to manipulate the pocket, calm, under pressure. You talk about the shoulder fake with, that's a veteran quarterback move. It's hard to teach a rookie that. Teddy Bridgewater has done himself well, not only against Atlanta, but tonight against the Redskins also.
Boog, you're Todd Bowles. Who are you going with?
For me, I think I would start Josh McCown. I think they have $10 million invested, 5 guaranteed. You know he's going to be the heir apparent and let Sam Darnold be your number 2.
There's Darvin Kinsey on the return. And He's met at the 16-yard line. And we'll be back in 15 seconds. Todd Bowles back here in Washington, where he won a Super Bowl with the Redskins. His defensive back with the Skins on that team that had Super Bowl MVP Doug Williams. In fact, you can see Todd in the background of the "I'm going to Disney World" commercial from that '87 championship team. Kevin Hogan drives the ball over the middle and gets it complete to Darvin Kidsey, the rookie from Texas Southern. Lisa.
Hey, Tess, well, one thing you're going to learn to love about Josh Norman is that you can ask him about anything. He has an opinion about everything, including the other team's quarterback situation. Josh, you went up against the Jets all week. You've seen what's gone on here tonight. Who has impressed you most of their quarterbacks?
I mean, I think all of them did a great job, you know. But obviously, I think for us, Teddy, I mean, I see him out there right now just doing what he do. I mean, manipulating the offenses, defenses with what he has for us. And then, you know, see him in practice the whole week. All those guys did a great job, but it's like Teddy out here doing his thing, so who knows?
All right, so you're choosing Teddy Bird. You know that you really don't have a say, though, right? Okay.
I don't have a say in none of what they got going on. You asked me a question, so I'm just giving you my
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, I want to ask you about Dancing with the Stars. You came in second on that show. I was impressed by that. Tell me, what's more difficult, playing football or learning the cha-cha?
Learning cha-cha. I mean, this I've been doing for like 30 years, like all my life pretty much. And then, you know, going into a different type of profession I don't know nothing about, so hard. But I had a great partner in Shauna, and she helped me out a good bit, and I was able to, you know, put some moves down and dance for people to see.
Now, because I'm trying to just start stuff, who's the better dancer, do you think? You or Odell Beckham Jr.? He can floss.
He can. I don't know. I'll give it to him.
Thanks, Josh. Joe.
Thank you, Lisa. Kevin Hogan escaping the pocket. And he was met and forced down out of bounds that time by Terrence Brooks. And Josh Norman had an outrageously busy offseason. Took a couple trips over to Israel. He was the runner-up on Dancing with the Stars. Received an honorary doctorate. And even took part in the MLB All-Star Celebrity Softball game. And now he's back with number 24 on that jersey. Second year in Washington. See what Kevin Hogan and the Skins can do here in the final minute, trailing by 1. Can he put them in position for a field goal attempt? That is off the fingertips of Shea Fields. His coverage came from Rashard Robinson.
Yeah, you're going to see this matchup. Rashard Robinson, he does a really good job widening him. The sideline is your friend on these go routes. You don't want to allow that receiver to stack you up and have a two-way go. Really good job forcing him wide and then making a play on the ball. And look, Joe, this is an opportunity late in games and competitive environments like this, 2-minute drill. You can make a statement. Let the coaches recognize you. These guys are playing for their livelihoods, have an opportunity to make a ball club.
Kevin Hogan's last game-winning drive in the fourth quarter was back in November 2015 against Notre Dame as the quarterback for Stanford. As he finds Shea Fields, this time underneath for 5 yards. 1 timeout for Washington, so we're under 40 seconds to go here.
Well, these situations are also good for the coaches. You know, to knock off the rust in situational football, how do you use that? When do you go with your timeout? Do you save it? You don't know how many games come down to these situations.
3rd down and 5. They pick up the pressure, and then with a man on him, a flag down, he finds Fields again. That is Simi Cobbs, excuse me, on the under route.
Yeah,
we will check on the flag.
The Jets are starting to bring the heat. You can tell this game is important, Joe. They don't want to give up any yards.
Holding. Defense number 30. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
So I'll get him a little closer to the range of Hopkins. Still going to need to gain some yardage here. 18 seconds, 1 timeout.
Yeah, they've changed the rules so much. As a defender, I mean, you can't put your hands on these receivers. With everything in the offense, in the game is about the offense. They're making it easy for the receivers.
From a defensive guy. Defensive lineman on top of that, boy. Come on, man. Let the playmakers make plays.
Probably about 7 more yards away from the range of Hopkins. No flag there, as Sims was the intended target. Once again, Robinson had coverage. 15 ticks of the clock remain.
One of the things in these situations, by being able to have a timeout still remaining, it allows you to throw the ball inside. And you can take advantage of that, and then you can bang your timeout. It's just a subtle thing, but that's what I'm talking about with these coaches, saving the timeouts, managing the situation. We saw Jay Gruden in practice. He was all over this situation and just managing it. It's good work for them.
Casey Rogers bringing the heat.
He likes outside man-to-man out there. Top of the
gap
screen.
pressure picked up. Hogan drives the ball back shoulder, and it's complete. They're going to have a shot here. Cam Sims, 20-yard catch.
I mean, that's just an outstanding throw by Hogan, but an even better catch by Cam Sims. We saw him early in the game make a difficult catch in the end zone. Here's another difficult catch in a pressure situation. Hogan drops back, sees it to blitz, back shoulder. Cam Sims making a nice play. Realizes he's stacking the defender, goes back shoulder. Just a tremendous catch. And for a guy who's trying to make this team late in the fourth quarter, money time, that'll go a long way with the coaches with.
Yeah, it wasn't the best route. I mean, he kind of predetermined that Robinson was playing over top. He tried to force the back shoulder. But the biggest thing, like you said, Boog, is the ability to make plays. What can they count on you in big situations? And being a big body and going up and making those type of plays and have an opportunity to potentially win a game, that's what you want. This guy made a big splash tonight, Sims.
Well, Dustin Hopkins has been perfect tonight. And it stays that way. With double zeros on the clock, a game-winning 40-yard field goal for the Skins. From the hole to Tress Way. Off the foot of Dustin Hopkins. Winning is winning, folks. Feels good, doesn't it, Dustin? 5 for 5 on his field goal attempts tonight, as Jay Gruden will gladly take it. The veterans meeting up, and the young guy, Sam Darnold, will clearly be in the spotlight again. So is that guy, Teddy Bridgewater. Where will he land? Skins take it 15-13. We're going to have the Colts and Ravens on Monday night. For Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, and Lisa Salters, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your evening, including SportsCenter with John Buchenross. Right.